What if you could go back and change your biggest regret? Not just watch it, but live it, and decide who was truly to blame. This is the central question of shadow ethics, a story that delves into the darkest corners of the human psyche, where trauma and technology collide. Imagine Dr. Eris Thorne, a brilliant psychologist haunted by his own past, who develops a revolutionary form of therapy. He uses hyper-realistic virtual reality to transport his patients back to their most painful moments. The goal: to confront their demons, make a moral judgment, and assign a punishment, all within the safe confines of a digital world. The therapy is called the Moirai Project, named after the fates of Greek mythology. For patients like Liam, a former soldier, paralyzed by guilt over a decision made in the heat of battle, or Alara, a woman consumed by a single tragic mistake from her youth. It seems like a miracle. Inside the simulation, they are no longer helpless victims of their past. They are judges, juries, and, in a way, executioners. They get to rewrite their history, punishing the person they believe is responsible, whether it's a stranger, a loved one, or even themselves. Dr. Thorne believes that by externalizing this blame, by finally achieving a sense of justice, his patients can find closure and heal. For a while, it works. Patients leave his state-of-the-art clinic feeling lighter, unburdened. The nightmares recede. The anxiety lessened. They've faced their worst memories and emerged victorious. The Moirai Project is hailed as a breakthrough, a new frontier in treating trauma. But what Dr. Thorne doesn't understand, what no one could have predicted, is that the lines between the virtual and the real are starting to blur. He thought he was creating a safe space for judgment, but he was actually opening a door to something ancient and unforgiving. The first sign that something is wrong is subtle. A flicker of movement in the corner of a patient's eye, a figure in the periphery that vanishes. When they turn to look, they dismiss it as a side effect, a glitch in the system. But then, the experiences become more tangible. A chilling whisper in an empty room, a cold touch in the dead of night. These are not just memories. They are echoes, given form and substance. The figures being punished inside the virtual world are starting to manifest in the real one. They are shadows, but they are real. These shadows, as the patients begin to call them, are not just passive apparitions. They are manifestations of guilt, regret, and vengeance. They are the digital ghosts of the people judged and condemned within the Moirai Project, and they have crossed over, seeking retribution. The soldier, Liam, finds himself hunted by the ghostly silhouette of the comrade he failed to save. Alara is stalked by a shadowy version of her younger self, a constant, silent accusation. The therapy that was supposed to bring peace has unleashed a new kind of terror. Dr. Thorne initially denies the connection. He believes his patients are experiencing a form of shared psychosis, a psychological echo of the intense therapy. He tweaks the VR parameters, runs diagnostics, and assures everyone that the system is secure. But he can't ignore the mounting evidence. Security footage shows inexplicable anomalies. Patients are being physically affected, bearing marks from their spectral attackers. And then, the shadows start coming for him. He sees the specter of the one person whose memory he has tried hardest to suppress, the source of his own deep-seated trauma that inspired the Moirai Project in the first place. The story shifts from a psychological drama into a desperate fight for survival. The clinic, once a sanctuary of healing, becomes a prison. Dr. Thorne and his patients are trapped, not just by the physical lockdown of the building, but by the very regrets they tried to escape. They realized that the VR didn't just let them judge others. It allowed something else to judge them. The shadows aren't just seeking revenge on those punished in the simulation. They are holding the patients accountable for the act of judging itself. The core of shadow ethics becomes a terrifying exploration of morality. Was it right to play God? Is anyone truly qualified to pass judgment on another's past? The patients who once felt empowered by their choices in the VR are now forced to confront the real-world consequences. Their quest for closure has created a cycle of vengeance that threatens to consume them all. They must work together, not just to survive the night, but to understand the nature of the shadows and find a way to sever their connection to the real world. The climax forces each character to make a final, terrifying choice: to save themselves They can't just fight the shadows, they must confront the truth of their own actions. They have to move beyond blame and find a different path, one of acceptance, forgiveness, and genuine accountability. It's no longer about punishing someone else for their pain. It's about acknowledging their own role in it, no matter how small or how painful that admission is. Dr. Thorne must face the ultimate ethical dilemma: destroy his life's work, the technology he believed could save lives, to stop the horror he has unleashed. Shadow Ethics leaves us with a haunting question. In our quest to heal from the past, what new monsters might we create? It's a story that blends speculative sci-fi with deep psychological horror, reminding us that some doors are best left unopened, and that true accountability can't be found in a simulation. It has to be found within ourselves. What do you think? Would you enter the Moirai project? If you had the chance, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content like this. See you next time.